So we're back here at Coastal Roots Farm in the food forest, and we're going to be planting carob trees today. We've got these little seedlings here that are about a year old. Carob is kind of a slower growing tree, but it's an excellent tree, and it produces food crop of these pods that are kind of sweet and edible. You've probably seen them as a replacement for chocolate, but you can do a lot of things with them. They're a Mediterranean plant. They're drought tolerant, and so they're gonna line our fence line here, where they're not gonna get a lot of water, and they're gonna still provide shade, food, and and home to different birds and creatures. Last week we dug pretty large holes because this soil here was not as fertile as we'd hoped, but we went ahead and amended with some compost and different things, and now we have a little bit of this darker, richer soil as opposed to this sandier, lighter soil. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and squeeze these out. There's a little kind of hole here at the bottom. Take a couple fingers and you can kind of push it up and just squeeze around and keep pushing until the tree comes up, and then very gently just tuck it out of this pot. And you can see it was in this potting mix, and it's got these nice long roots here. We don't want to disturb it too much because it's already, it's pretty loose already. And we'll go ahead and we'll place it in here. You want the neck of the tree, which is the point where it goes from being trunk and branches to roots. You want that point to be just a little higher than your soil level. That way when you water it and it kind of settles in, it's not sunken down. You don't want it to be sunken in. So this hole is a little deep, so I'm just gonna bring some of this back. So you got it at this point. This is great. And now we're gonna create a little half circle, kind of a berm on the lower end of the hill, in order to just slow down any water that does rain here or that does get here, from our sprinkler irrigation, just so that it'll sink into the roots before running down the hill. That's good. I can take one more on this side. That's good.
Bounces. Is it just for the hill, or do you actually go all the way around it with that?
So it depends. If I'm on a hillside, I do it on the lower end of the hill. If I'm on flat land, I'll do one that's all around it. Yeah, and I'll make like a little ring. On flat land, I tend to do it more with like mulch, whereas on a hillside, I'll do it with soil. And so what we'll do now is, so the tree is planted, and we'll go ahead and give it some water. Thank you.
You don't have to wait like do with succulents to water it? You water them right away.
No, you can water it right away, yeah. And as you see, this has already kind of slowed the water down.
Why do you use mulch on a flat area and soil on the hill? What is the purpose?
Because soil will stop the water from flowing
Understand
down.
that, but why mulch? Is that just...
Mulch is just all around really great to kind of counter the evaporation that happens. Mulch is all around great to counter evaporation, and mulch eventually decomposes, and it just creates a nice layer of soil as it does that. So continually adding mulch is just a maintenance thing. You know, think about a forest. You know, tree branches fall, leaves drop. You know, you never see bare soil. You always see the soil covered with tree
Would
parts.
it make sense to put some mulch in that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So the next step after I finish watering, we'll be carrying in mulch and spreading it all around the tree, around like 3 inches or so is good, and then anywhere else we can, if we have extra anywhere else in between is great. Mulch is also a great medium for mycelium, and as that breaks down, you know, you'll start to see. I have one little example here. You'll start to see this kind of white, sort of. It looks powdery, but it's not, and I can pass this around. There's some other bits here.
What's mycelium?
Mycelium is fungus. Our mushroom friends.
Oh.
Our mushroom friends they're sort of the internet of the forest. They pass communication along between trees, between plants.
Wow.
It's incredible, yeah. And the mulch is a medium for them, because they actually do a lot of the breaking down of branches and leaves and things like that.
So they actually carry ingredients
They
that inform other parts of the forest?
Yeah, yeah, they inform, they pass information along, they pass nutrients along, they break down a lot of things. It's really fascinating. There's a lot to learn about with mycelium, and a lot that's just coming to light now.
Don't they break down toxic things too? Like,
They do also break down,
chemicals?
some varieties do break down chemicals, plastic, I've heard as well. So, yeah, mushrooms are gonna save the world. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Great. So now we've got our mulch, and after we've watered, we'll go ahead and just spread it all on the berm around. This is the berm, the little like hill that I created. Yeah. So we'll spread it all over, all around. You can tuck it in, but you don't want it to be right up against the trunk. You want to give the trunk here some space, and that's just because at this point here, if there's a lot of mulch right at the base, it's a place of weakness where disease can thrive, and so we want to let the air get through here and dry it out after it gets watered and stuff like that. Cool. So yeah, let's each grab a tree, find your hole, and let's go both directions, and I think we have about 13 trees to plant.
Can you eat it?
Why do we plant trees?
Actually, trees make up.
The whole concept of the food forest, of doing planting in waves with undergrowth that builds up the soil and then fruit trees that follow, and then the undergrowth brought back down underneath the fruit trees so that it starts and then it just continues to progress just like nature.
I'm really thankful for this opportunity. It's so nice to be able to plant trees.
Mushrooms talk to the rest of the plants and transfer information. Lots of love makes the carob trees grow big.
Start out as a novice little volunteer group, and we're cutting our teeth literally on how to plant and do it right. I mean, you think just a tiny little tree that's 6 inches tall with a root system, you just think of planting it in the ground, but here, like, we lay a really deep foundation of cutting a huge swath of earth and amending it with other soil and aerating it, and then planting the tree gives it a chance to really grow the right way. It's like, it's a very good long-term vision. It's really amazing, and this is a very cute tree because we've loved on her.
We gave her a name. Him a name.
Yes,
Her him a name.
It's all about the intention. We put a lot of love into it, and
Yeah.
we think that the tree needs to know that how special it is, so it can grow big and strong, and we can harvest chocolate from it. It's all about the carob chocolate substitute.
If everyone takes a vow to plant at least 5 saplings in 1 year, it would be very good. Currently, deforestation is taking place at an alarming rate. Planting trees helps to re-establish the balance in nature.
Nature is God's visible form that we see and experience through our senses. By loving and serving nature, we are worshipping God directly. Let us try and reawaken this attitude.
Nature is an indispensable part of life on earth. Everything relies on nature to live. Therefore, it is one of our foremost duties to lovingly care for all living things.
Forests are being destroyed and apartment complexes erected in their place. Many birds build nests in these complexes, and if we look at these nests, we will see that they have been made with wires and pieces of plastic. This is because trees are decreasing. In the future, there may be no trees at all. The birds are learning to adapt to their new environment.